Carbon frames, fancy suspension, and electronic drivetrains are pretty common at the bike park, but sometimes it's more fun to ride with less. I'm Alex with Jenson USA. This is my Surly Lowside. So it's a steel frame, it's fully rigid, and it's a single speed. Now it might seem like not having suspension or gears might make for a pretty uncomfortable ride, but that's actually what makes this bike a ton of fun. Having a single speed bike makes it really simple. You're never in the right gear, but you're also never in the wrong gear. So it's really simple to be out on the trail. You don't have to think about what gear you're in, you just pedal and go. It gives you more chance to focus on your riding than what's going on with your bike. One of the cool things about this bike being so basic is it's not necessarily good at anything, but it's kind of good at everything. So it's the jack of all trades. You can take this on a cross-country ride and you can even rip it at the bike park. This is a super versatile bike. Having the big 3.0 tires gives you a little extra cushion. The steel frame is definitely more forgiving than an aluminum or especially a carbon frame. So this bike really is a do-it-all bike. Having some modern conveniences like good geometry, disc brakes, and some nice big tires definitely make this bike fun to ride. You can even put gears on this. It has routing for a dropper post, and you could throw a suspension fork on this if you really wanted to, but I prefer to ride it just how it comes. It gives you a really raw feeling, and it's a ton of fun to be on something super simple. Obviously, I'm a big fan of full suspension bikes, and I'm a huge fan of downhill bikes, but I've actually been riding this bike at the bike park for the last couple days. And the reason is because it's a ton of fun and it makes me focus on my technique. I've been riding this bike for a little while now, and what I've really realized is a lot of the things that I don't have on this, I don't really need to ride. So I've kept this bike pretty much exactly the way I got it. I changed a couple things like the seat and the pedals, but for the most part, this is the bike out of the box, and I don't really feel like I'm missing out. I'm able to ride almost everything that I ride on my full suspension bikes, and yeah, it's a little bit harder, but that's part of the fun. When mountain biking first started, people were riding on bikes not too dissimilar to this. They were out there having a ton of fun on really simple bikes, taking the fenders off their town bikes and putting knobby tires on to make them into mountain bikes is what it was all about. They were doing some pretty crazy stuff on them, and I don't think there's any reason you can't do the same today. So today at the bike park, there's a dual slalom race. I decided why not try to take this thing out there and see how it does. I was actually pretty surprised. I qualified for the race, and I was the only rigid bike out there.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Going to be dropping into his 17th finals run at Red Bull Rampage. He's been here for every single one of them since 2001.
Kyle is a world-class slalom racer, downhill racer, slalom builder.
I need a hot dog. What's cool about having a basic bike is it teaches you the fundamentals of riding again. You really just have to focus on your line choice a lot. It doesn't allow for a lot of error, so it forces you to smooth out a lot of imperfections in your riding. Another great thing about this bike is if you're riding the same trails every day, this can spice up your ride. It forces you to look at things a little bit differently. Not having suspension makes you choose smoother lines, and only having one gear makes you think about maintaining your momentum a lot more. Make no mistake, mountain bikes have suspension for a reason. Mountain bikes have gears for a reason. This is not going to be the easiest ride. The point of this bike is to be simple, and it's not going to be as capable as your full suspension bike, obviously, but that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is figuring out how to ride your trails differently, taking a more simple and thoughtful approach to your riding. Another great thing about this bike is it's simple and it's cheap. So you can get into this really easy. There's not a whole lot to break. If something does break, it's pretty easy and cheap to replace. Having a simple bike makes for a simple riding experience. If you're looking to spice up your riding, focus on your technique, or just get some funny looks at the bike park, consider getting one of these bikes. We have plenty of steel bikes on our website. So thank you for watching and keep pedaling.